Hello and good day, my friends. This is Brian with iPagereviews.com, and I'm going to go over my opinions and my review of iPage hosting really quickly for you in this video. Um, Basically, iPage is very similar in features and offerings to other hosts like Bluehost, JustHost, FatCow, InMotion Hosting, and many others in the shared hosting space. So what we want to do, um, although that's cool, their price is kind of low right now. They have a sale going on, but I mean you can find that yourself. So let's go over what they actually offer. And disk space, transfer, domains, all that stuff. There aren't strict limits placed on it. InMotion Hosting places some limits on there, but honestly, they're not ridiculous. They're typically limits that you wouldn't need to get lifted yourself. So, in my personal opinion, showing that something is unlimited, that's more of a marketing thing because they know you're not going to use a certain amount more than usual. So disk space, what does loads mean? How much disk space and bandwidth will my plan include? There are no set limits on disk space or data transfer that we provide in our hosting plans. We want you to have the resources you need to build a great online presence, and 99.95% of all customers will have more than enough space and bandwidth to meet their needs. That being said, we do require all customers to be fully compliant with our terms of service and utilize disk space and bandwidth within the normal operation of a personal or small business website. So, my recommendation to you is very specific. If you are getting hosting so that you can host video files yourself, or any other kind of large file sharing or file hosting operation, then iPage is definitely not the kind of host that you would want to be using. Even dedicated hosting or VPS hosting, that's not what I would do. Sure, you should host your website on a host like iPage or steadfast.net or VPS.net, or it doesn't really matter where you're hosting your website itself, but any good company in the any company that knows what it's doing and is hosting large files, they use separate hosting for those files, like download sites and stuff like that. What I would do is host your big files on a cloud service. Like, I'm not sure if you can use Dropbox for this, but Dropbox is an example of a cloud storage service. And then also Max CDN, that's a really good one. Let me see if I can type that somewhere for you. That's let's see, I mean maxcdn.com. They have a really great service, and if you're going to host files, then you can pull them from there, and it's really cheap too. They don't charge a lot for their bandwidth, so you can easily afford to do that if you're hosting large files, and you can keep your main website on an affordable host like iPage, so you don't have to go pay big bucks for a dedicated server or something. And now in terms of, let's see, bandwidth to disk usage, bandwidth, let's talk about that. So let's see, in this chart you can see iPage is comparing bandwidth usage across all of their customers' accounts. So most customers have extremely low bandwidth usage. They might be getting visitors to their sites and everything, but you're not going to be using a lot of bandwidth unless you're hosting large files, streaming videos or anything. And if you set it up right for having the fastest site possible, then you wouldn't even be doing that from your main hosting account, no matter where you're hosting with. You would use content delivery network like maxcdn.com, for example. So that's most customers, and disk usage going up. the percentage of customers is going down. So abnormally high usage, which they don't like, and they'll email you about to ask you to stop. That's only 0.05% of customers. So what happens if you do exceed the normal usage? You'll receive an email asking you to reduce usage, and you'll get a minimum of 48 hours to make adjustments before they temporarily take the account offline. So this is pretty typical of any hosting company that's doing a shared platform. They have to protect their other customers from anybody who's, doing exceeding the normal usage, because they want to have a good hosting experience for all their customers. So there's no one customer who is slowing down the server or using too many resources. That's just the world of shared hosting. So, sorry that was so long-winded. I hope it was helpful to you, since you see unlimited everywhere, and you're like, well, which host should I choose? Because they all say unlimited. Well, that's everything I just talked about. That's what they mean. So, I mean, in most cases, you don't even have to worry about that, because you're not going to be doing crazy stuff like hosting videos or anything. And by the way, me personally, I would not ever even host videos on my own hosting. I would use YouTube and embed the videos on my site so I can take advantage of social benefits, sharing and stuff in the comments. It's good to use YouTube. You don't have to be all professional and use some sort of custom video player and host the file yourself. With that said, a more professional kind of solution for video hosting and streaming and all that is Wistia. That's let me type that out for you. That's wistia.com. I used them for one of my projects for the tutorials and stuff, because I didn't really need social engagement with those. But wistia.com is a great solution for video hosting. So just as usual, use your iPage website if you do use them. Use it just as the kind of brochure or something. Don't worry about hosting special large types of files from it. You'll be okay. And all right, wow, we're 7 minutes into this. All right, so the rest of iPage's features I really do like for newbie webmasters, like new people who are new to making a website. They have a lot of helpful stuff, like a drag and drop site builder. So you can, with the free version, you can make up to 6 pages, which is usually what a typical brochure or info website has. You're just dragging and dropping what you want, and it's just all visual based, so you don't have to know any coding or anything. Then there's a template based site builder. That's just where you choose the theme, like you see pre-made versions. You can check out okay, themeforest.net. I'll show you what that means. Popular items. So let's look at some examples of themes. I'll do a live preview. This is a great theme site called ThemeForest, and you can buy themes for your website. You can use these on iPage, by the way, too. Just upload it. And so if I wanted to use this on my website, I could buy it right now. But anyway, iPage has themes like that, but a bunch of them are available for free. And then you also get 1 year free of a personalized domain name. Then it rebuilds at $12.99 a year after that. They can't do it free forever because it actually costs them money. They have to pay the international something ICANN. I don't remember what the full name is. And Blog Setup Wizard, that's great. That's actually my preferred method of setting up a website. Excuse me, setting up a website, because I love to use WordPress. That's just, I love it. And I set that up an example here. Let's see, iPage reviews.ipage.com, I believe. I set that up there. Yeah, that's right. I did. iPageworkshop.com. It's a demo blog I set up for you guys. So that just took me a few seconds, if you check out my iPage WordPress setup video, it took me a few seconds to set that up, and then you can easily find free themes, and it's really easy to use WordPress. So I highly recommend that way more than going through with messing with website builders and stuff like that. If you have any questions on how to do the WordPress stuff and all that, check out ipagetraining.com. That seems to be a pretty good website for like learning how to deal with WordPress on iPage and like actually set up a nice website and stuff. So let's continue through this iPage review. Selling online is no problem with iPage. You get free online store. Let's see, what does that really mean? Okay, so it means you get, I know they have some, what would I call it? A simple way. All right, well, I'll just say it. ShopSite, OzCommerce, AgoraCart, those are shopping cart solutions. And if you want, you can just basically turn those on inside your iPage account and you have a store. With that said, I love WordPress. So we go back to this blog setup wizard. That doesn't mean only blogs. That means WordPress setup. So WordPress can be used as a content management system, and there are so many plugins and themes that can turn it into an online store. So if that's what you're wanting to do, that's really, really, really what I recommend doing. I personally don't really like any of the shopping cart solutions I've seen online, except for maybe Shopify, which is hosting itself, but it's kind of limited to, it's just kind of easy to use. That's the only reason I mentioned it. But all of these, they're great in their own right, and they're quality products. But I personally, I'm just used to WordPress. It's easy for me to use. I just love it. And there's so much community support for WordPress. And if you need to take credit card payments, you can get shared SSL easily. Also, if you want dedicated SSL, you can do that. And you don't have to buy it from iPage. They don't lock you into like only using their stuff. Same with domain names. If you have your domain name at GoDaddy or something, you can go ahead and like post it. You can point it to your iPage website. I personally, this iPage workshop site, that's that domain is at enum, and I just pointed the DNS servers to iPage, so they don't make you stay within their little bubble and pay extra money because of it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Their web hosting control panel, that's VDEC. I personally prefer cPanel. I love cPanel the most, but that's just because it's what I'm used to. Their VDEC control panel, if you check out our review of their VDEC control panel on this page on ipagereviews.com, you'll see it's really easy to use, and it's not really lacking in any particular important features or anything. I'm just used to cPanel, and I manage web hosting, so that's, it's just way more powerful and way more complicated and not for newbies, that's for sure. So that's what makes VDEC, iPage's control panel, really, really great. And Enhanced Security Suite, that's just something that protects your site. It's like malware monitoring and all that, so it makes sure your site isn't compromised. And 24/7 network monitoring, they have staff on the clock 24/7 monitoring all their servers to make sure that it doesn't go down, And any good hosting company has that. High performance load balance servers, they have this special kind of network setup where if one server goes down, then your site isn't affected. It's just kind of all sites are on all the servers. It's kind of interesting how they set it up, but it's really great for reliability. And visitor statistics, site traffic reporting, that's included, of course. I like to use Google Analytics or Piwik Analytics. Piwik is great. .org. I personally don't like to use Google Analytics for some reason, just because it, I don't want to give them all my data, So Piwik is great, and you can use that with iPage as well. And another great benefit of iPage is that if you're just starting out, it's cool. You get 125, 50, so $175 in advertising credits for AdWords, Yahoo, and Facebook. You get a free yellowpages.com listing. That's a nice backlink. And right now, actually, they're running a special where if you're in the U.S., you get a free toll-free phone number for your business. And they have a lot of great online marketing guides for customers. And let's see, sending and receiving email. I just honestly would ignore all this because I prefer to set up Gmail, Google Apps for my domain names. So it'd be like Brian at brianswebsite.com, which is hosted with iPage, but my email is actually running through Gmail. So it would just be like checking my normal mail. That's how I like to set it up. And I'll make a tutorial for you guys if you want to do that. Customer support, they don't show it on here, but they have an email address, support@ipage-inc.com, iPage, INC. And they have great text that responds within, even 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. And they respond in depth, and they really try to help you there. That's way better than their chat support. Their phone support is also really good, and so yeah, there's email support. If you submit a ticket or email that email I told you about, you'll get great support. And my experience so far with their support has been good, better than even some dedicated hosting companies I have tried in the past and didn't stick with. Alright, well, that concludes my review of iPage. And so, in conclusion, it's a really great, affordable way to start your first website or even your second. And if you are frustrated with your current host because of unreliable service, then iPage could be an improvement. They are nobody's perfect, but they are one of the most reliable shared hosting companies I have monitored over these past few years. So if you want an affordable, reliable, easy to use host that's flexible enough to also be good for more advanced users, then iPage is a good choice. And they do have a sale right now at $2.95 a month. Hopefully when you're watching this video it'll still be happening. I'm not sure, it ends in a few days, but they do sales kind of often, so just check back periodically and they might do $2.95 again. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. I know I covered a lot in this video and I try not to get too geeky on you, but who knows, if you got any questions, let me know. Have a good one.